Social issues are, by their very nature, complex. They often defy a simplistic response. If we are to bring about positive, effective, and lasting social change, we need to learn about each situation thoroughly and reflect upon its meaning before deciding how to address it. The Pastoral Circle is a simple methodology for experiencing, analyzing, reflecting upon, and responding through committed action to a socially troubling experience or challenge that we have encountered, whether as individuals or a community. As we move around the circle, we progress through 4 moments: experience, analysis, reflection, and action. As we advance through each moment, we need to remain mindful of the limitations of our own perspectives and biases. And because we rarely overcome challenges with a single response, the Pastoral Circle is in fact a spiral. With each journey around the circle, we deepen our study, analysis, reflection, and action, and begin again. Every ending invites a new beginning. Put another way, the Pastoral Circle is a methodology for responding to 4 basic questions about such a socially troubling experience or challenge that we have encountered. First, what is happening here? Second, why is it happening? Third, what does it mean? Fourth, what should we, or I, do about it? These 4 questions occur during the respective moments of the Pastoral Circle. They help us to respond more effectively to the experience through deeper engagement, analytical research, and deliberative reflection. As we move through these moments, we engage with the situation and discern effective ways to respond to it. The first moment is experience, specifically the experience of the people whom the situation affects, directly or indirectly. This is the moment when we get in touch with the reality through objective observation, as well as subjective feelings. We ask, what is happening here? We gather the data, stories, and descriptions of what is going on in the situation. We seek to learn what people are undergoing, what they're feeling, what stories they're telling, and how they're responding. In doing this, we remain attentive to cultural influences that can color our own perceptions. We ask, how does our social status stand in relation to the people with whom we work? Whose opinions do we presume to be more important? How much do gender concerns limit the way we view this reality? Whose experience do we consider? Whose are we ignoring? How can we seek them out and obtain input from them? Do we recognize the privileged role the experience of the poor and the oppressed have to play in the process? The second moment is analysis. This is the moment when we try to map the deeper reality of the situation by asking questions about time, structures, centers of influence, principles, and their interconnections. We ask the second question, why is it happening? In other words, what are the causes, connections, and consequences of what is taking place? Who are the key actors, and what roles do they play? What has the history been of this experience? What are the obvious as well as hidden influences? We also ask what factors are influencing us. What are the social, political, economic, normative, or religious perspectives that we use in our analysis, and why? Which of our presuppositions in these analyses do we need to test? Can we acknowledge the biases that we bring to this process? The third moment is the moment of reflection, the moment when we discern the meaning of the situation in view of our shared principles from our faith commitments, the teaching of our scriptures, the positive norms of the local communities, and the wisdom of their ancestors, such as in proverbs and traditional stories. In this moment of reflection, we ask, How do we interpret the meaning of the situation in light of our principles, our belief systems, our community norms, and so on? Does the light of Scripture or our Christian view of the world suggest new questions and insights? In the third moment, we test the validity of our process by asking, how closely is our reflection related to our analysis? Does our reflection complement our analysis? Are they really or only marginally related? How closely linked is the reflection to the actual social situation? The final moment is the stage at which we plan and commit to concrete actions, take the necessary steps to address and even transform the situation, and prepare to evaluate the results in order to plan anew. To begin, we need to ask what strategies are applicable. What short-term and long-term steps will bring positive change? We also ask who participates in the planning and what the relationship is between the groups that serve and those whom they serve. Have we sought and received guidance from representatives of the local population? Are we sensitive to the social, political, economic, ethical, and religious priorities of the local culture? There are also practical questions. Do we need training in areas such as government relations, public relations and communications, local and international advocacy, social entrepreneurship, and strategic philanthropy and other forms of business development? Are we serious about monitoring and evaluation that should accompany the implementation? Only after considering these questions do we begin to put the plan into action. Using a method like the Pastoral Circle can help us avoid making hasty decisions about how to respond to situations, and thus can help us avoid harmful, unintended consequences. What is most important, it can help us act responsibly and respectfully toward our brothers and sisters in need, and thereby to live out the fullness of our Christian commitment in community.